All right, back with another game. Got some great trashers right off the bat. Sentinel Temple, and then on top of that we have uh, kind of a synergy with Capital City Tunnel Modify, where we're able to gain golds off Capital City and Tunnel, and then modify them into golds. And then we have Specialist in order to gain even more of these action cards that synergize well with one another. So how can we get there the fastest? Sentinel is really great for trashing. I think the main difference between Temple and Sentinel is, right, obviously one costs 4, one costs 3. And Temple is trashing from your hand, whereas Sentinel is trashing from the remainder of your deck, or just like the top 5 cards of your deck, which is actually a huge difference. And at the cost of I guess, of 1 VP token, I think Sentinel is just a lot better in this case. And apparently our opponent has a 5/2, which I think is actually a bit unfortunate here, but I think Modify might actually be good, where you're able to modify your states into these power 4 cards. Power cards, you know. And Specialist is questionable. This just doesn't do anything when you have no cards in your hand. And here I think I'm going to just start going for Heralds. So I think when buying Herald, one thing to be careful of is that you don't want to, I guess, play, for example, if Herald and Temple don't synergize well, because it forces you to trash a card from your hand, where in some cases you don't want to. Herald and Bounty Hunter can also be kind of tricky, where like you're forced to, just exile a card when you might not really want to. Somehow our opponent hits 5 with this kind of a draw. I guess a Specialist basically is a copper in an 11 card deck, or just in your first 10 cards plus Specialist, but hey, who am I to judge? Here my decision points are between Modify and Capital City. Capital City will allow us to sift through our deck, but Modify will allow us to make use of trashing the estates or deck. So I think I would be in favor of Capital City. I think Capital City just has a lot of great synergy with these other cards. So I'm going to discard 2 for 2 coins. And yeah, I'm actually going to draw 2 cards. I'm going to, let's see. So I don't want to trigger another shuffle, so I'm going to play the, oh wait, hold up. If I play the Herald, I'm going to, this is actually kind of tricky. So I'm definitely going to play the, I think I'm going to play the Herald, and then, so I've basically like 5 coppers down there. So I'm going to play the Herald, and then I'm going to play the Sentinel in hopes of trashing an estate amongst those. And because I think no matter what, we're going to have 5 coppers at the top of that deck. So I'm going to do that, and then exile copper, and then I think I might actually just, it's either going to be Modify or Specialist here. Modify is only good with estates, and Specialist will allow us to start gaining some of the cards we want here. So yeah. And here was actually like another one of the benefits of Capital City. We're able to just sift through our deck really easily, and so that's really great. Here we're going to specialize the Herald. Oh, and that's awesome. We get a trash right away. And unfortunately though, like we're not going to be hitting any price points here with Bounty Hunter. And here I'm going to, I think I'm going to trash the estate, or no, I'm going to trash these 2. And then I'm going to grab a tunnel, I think already. Free economy is my thought. I'm going to trash these 2 because I think there's very little difference between having an estate and having a copper, just given the existence of Capital City at the moment. We're going to be able to sift through them pretty well regardless. And just, I think we're going to pick up a Modify next turn, and so it's not going to make much of a difference. So yeah, I'm going to Specialize the Capital City, discard 2 for $2, and then, yeah, we're going to get that, and then we're going to gain a copy. All right, and here's an interesting decision point. So what do we have down there? We have definitely enough that where we want to trash, and so we have a tunnel, a couple coppers, a Herald. So now my decision points are exiling the Sentinel for a Modify, and or just keeping them around. I think Capital City allows us to sift really well, so I don't think there's too much of an issue there. So I think I'm just going to grab a modify here. And modify will also allow us to trash out the coppers that we have. So I think, yeah, we didn't really need to rely on Sentinel to trash excessively anymore. So that was my rationale there. A bit unlucky in that we've been hitting that, but it's okay. I'm going to discard these two, gain gold, plus 2 cards. Here's an interesting decision point. What do we have down there? We have the Bounty Hunter, we have, and I think probably another copper. So what do we want a specialist here? I think it's got to be the capitals. It's got to be the capital city. Don't gain copy. We're going to modify this into a herald, and then we're just going to get rid of this copper, and we're going to call it a turn. And so yeah, here hopefully we're able to, I guess, play our herald a bit more off, or hit with our herald. Ooh, interesting. This is actually kind of tough here. I think we do want to discard 2. Actually kind of hard. Gain a gold. The one bad thing about these golds is that they kind of detract from the herald. But yeah, I think I just want another specialist. Having multiple specialists in the deck is just very powerful, and they even allow you to, I guess, gain more specialists. So they are quite powerful. Gonna hold out there. Actually, I'm gonna do Bounty Hunter in the hopes that Herald might actually hit one as well. So yeah. Gain a copy of it. I'd rather get Heralds, I think, is my thought, but that's okay. Actually, I'm also at a point where like I might want multiple Bounty Hunters, but pretty open to whatever. All right, so now here I'm going to take additional Heralds, gain a copy. Okay, and actually here I just realized that our deck is a bit bad at the moment, so I think we're going to trash the copper in hopes of yeah, okay, that's fine. And so here, actually, we can actually buy. Actually, I'm gonna take a specialist, another specialist here, just in hopes of, I guess, spiking even more plays or gains of these action cards that we very much want. I think we just want a very action-dense deck, and then just Bounty Hunter away the provinces that we gain. And I'm going to be careful about playing Tunnel too much, because yeah, our deck is just has too many goals at this point, and yeah, we can't even okay, so this is a bit unfortunate. We're just going to gain a copy, and then we're going to, let's see, I think I definitely want more Heralds, but it's a close call. Heralds is like the only draw, right? So it is useful. Is there anything down there that I want? Kind of want another. I do want the modify, but I think I don't want it now. Is my thought. So yeah, the skirmisher attacks definitely does hurt a bit. if I didn't have to discard the last turn, I would have been able to at least, I believe maybe even just like bounty hunter away the copper, but we didn't have that opportunity. So yeah, the skirmisher attack, while it comes at a large opportunity cost for opponent because they have to invest quite a bit in order to, or they just have to gain another skirmisher. Yeah, it does hurt us quite a bit. All right, so we got to get rid of one of these tunnels, or at least a gold here. So here we're just going to grab a province, consider to modify, but I don't think it was that useful. So yeah, I think this turn, if we can, we definitely want to acquire more modifies through specialist, if that's possible. Okay, this is just kind of annoying. But that is kind of like what their deck aims to do, so that is not a problem. Not gaining any more of that. Oh, so I already have a golden exile. Oh, okay, this kind of sucks again. But it is all right. And I think we're just going to, I think we want the last herald and we'll overpay by 1. Okay, great. You're able to top deck a herald to save our turn, hopefully. Because yeah, the last couple cards were just the cards that we used to sift through with Capital City, and they were a lot of gold. So this game, I think we definitely got a bit too crazy with the Capital City tunnel plays, and this has affected our herald plays. Okay, this is just so annoying, actually. So yeah, it stashed away the tunnel, which is great, but it's okay. I guess their deck doesn't really accomplish that much anyway, so yeah, we're gonna start on the provinces. Okay, well this is unfortunate, but it's okay. I'm personally surprised that they never bothered to get a sentinel and they're just using a single bounty hunter to gain as their source of gains. So that is a bit surprising to me. And yeah, also here we're just going to grab another bounty hunter as well, because yeah. And then I'm actually going to grab 1 sentinel because I am seeing the value in I'm going to discard from exile, why not? And just having more actions for our heralds because they, again, I guess another source of draw would be specialist gold, and then playing it twice, and then letting Capital City be take on this +2 cards effect. So that is another kind of idea that we haven't been utilizing as much that we could have been doing. But yeah. So yeah, this is one complication that we run into when we do this, and so I think we're just gonna have to stash away a gold. Or I think actually I'll do a capital city, and then we're gonna allow capital cities to be draws as well. And here we're going to play the capital city twice, and or we could have done the gold thing that I mentioned. Discard $2 for 2 cards, and then we're gonna gain a copy, discard it from exile. Very nice. And then we're gonna play Bounty Hunter here. We've already. Okay, so we can trash this copper finally, and then yeah. So this is kind of like one nice thing about the Sentinel. So yeah, we're gonna just take these two, Sentinel modify, and we're gonna play this trash. We're gonna gain a card here, and then we're just gonna gain a copy of it, and then yeah, end actions. We weren't going to play the Sentinel because we don't want this province and modify on top. And is it safe? Can our opponent gain 2 is the question. So what kind of cards do our opponent have? So how would our opponent acquire 2 provinces is my question. So let me see. Searching for modify. So my opponent did gain a modify. Okay. So that's a thing. And then the other question is, if my opponent takes 2 provinces, do I lose? So I think I'm actually just going to be safe and just grab another specialist here. I don't see the point in risking it. Or just like there's kind of no benefit immediately from just grabbing another province here, is my thought. And it opens the doors for my opponent to win. I think, okay, so if my opponent actually does take, is able to take 2 provinces, then I would need just province duchy to win. So that's not that hard. So yeah, this makes it a lot harder on my opponent. Whereas if like I bought a province there, if they were able to take 2, there's some means which they have where they can. Yeah, that would be a bit more dangerous. Another thought I have is that they do have specialist modify, so that also could have been a bit. So it is within the realms of possibility if they get the right set of draws, where they play a lot of skirmishers and then play capital cities to draw more, that they're able to take 3 provinces. But we'll see what it is that they can do here. Okay, so they use their single modify on a copper, so they're not winning this turn. I'm considering that thing where I mentioned where I just play specialist here twice, play again, and then $2 for 2 cards, $2 for 2 cards. Oh shit! Can I undo that? Undo. Click. So my opponent doesn't seem to be in the forgiving mood to allow this, but I don't know. My opponent seems to very much want to win, and I understand. Who doesn't? Well, this isn't very nice. Jeez. All right, fine. $2 $2 for 2 cards. Play again. $2 for 2 cards. Oh, all right, this hurts. I think we're just gonna like get rid of a bounty hunter here. Don't trash, and here we have a win. By just herald, and then yeah. Don't, and then what we'll do is just specialist, modify, gain a card. Gain a card. And then gain copy. And then we're just gonna end the game. And yeah, that's the game. I think just as we mentioned, acquiring all these actions through specialist and then making that combo work was pretty great. I think one mistake I did make in this game was that I got a bit too eager with the tunnel gains. I have been wary of tunnel gold gains in the past. I believe in some of my in maybe one of my videos, I mentioned how just it is a trap in order to like, maybe it was market square that game, but just it is a kind of a trap in order to in just like using these reaction gains immediately, because they do clog up your deck, which we did see here in a couple of my turns where my herald just missed. But yeah.